Hello everybody. Welcome back to the first episode of Wyatt Reviews Everything. That's right, you heard it correctly. On this channel, I'm going to be reviewing anything and everything that I possibly can. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be a really fun journey, and so I guess I might as well start off with a formal introduction. Shall we? My name is Wyatt, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just gonna be reviewing just a whole bunch of stuff. So drop whatever you want me to review in the comments. I'll make sure to get to that next video. But anyways, let's get it going right now.
There's a rip right, there's a rip right.
Oh, what's that? What was I reading, you asked? Yeah, that's right. It's the ancient ruins and excavations of ancient Rome. But that's not what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about a different ancient civilization, ancient Egypt, and one of its most famous, if not most famous, ruler of all time, the infamous King Tut. Have you heard of him? You probably have. His name is actually pronounced Tutankhamun, and he goes by many other names, but like that's not very important to what we pretty much have going on here. He just goes by a lot. He changed it to Tutankhamun after he became pharaoh to show his love for the god that he went, because he kind of did this whole thing against his dad. But we'll get into that once we start the review. But pretty much, yeah, most people don't really know that much about him, so I'm kind of gonna start this review as kind of like a learning session, a synopsis, and also like a review. So first, like, many people know that he ruled from only 9 to 19. People are like, wow, that is so crazy. Like, he ruled and he was only 9 years old. Like, but the thing is, like, for my research and learning, just and also listening to History of Rome by Mike Duncan. Shout out Mike Duncan. Um, all those 9-year old little rulers and all those guys, they literally do absolutely nothing. It's all the old guys who are like they're like chief executives and elders that are in control and actually put in all the work and stuff. And that would actually be the guys who are named A, who is kind of just like the chief executive pretty much, and maybe his grandpa, not confirmed. And then also just Hormheb, who is kind of like the military chief, kind of like the president, as it might be in America. But pretty much, I guarantee that King Tut was literally just this little boy who was playing with all the like Egyptian artifacts and stuff, while A and Hormheb were doing all of the work. And I guarantee that that's how it went. And so that's already knocking him down a notch, because people are like, wow, it's so crazy, but he actually didn't do anything. So all the things in the history where it's like he did this, he did this, he did this, I guarantee that's all just A and Hormheb doing that. But yeah, so a lot of his like whole thing is that he like was beefing with his dad, Akhenaten, who was like this crazy, like apparently corrupt guy who was pretty much just really into worshiping Atan, who is pretty much just this deity who's kind of associated with Ra, who's the sun god, but not associated with Ra. It's kind of confusing because Egyptian like mythology is kind of just like Greek mythology, but with a bunch of different stuff mixed in, which is kind of like any mythology ever. But pretty much, it's like really confusing. But pretty much, just his dad was really big into this sun guy, and while it seemed like he was trying to make it a monotheistic religion for him, it was just that he was trying to put all the power in himself, because the pharaohs were just considered gods, and so he was like, if I'm gonna make everyone worship this guy, so I can get more power for myself, which, fun fact, is not a very good thing to do as a ruler, because his people needed him, and he wasn't there for them when the times got tough. And so pretty much all the history books and everything that I've read and researched pretty much were like King Tut really just reversed this whole thing, and he brought Egypt like back into the good old days when they reached Amen, and they reached who was pretty much just the Zeus of Egyptian mythology, or he also goes by Amen Ra again, which is a mix between Amen and Ra, which is the sun god and who is like the king of all gods. Like that's who they are mixed together, which is quite interesting. Um, but yeah, that's pretty. They brought him back, which was definitely, like I said, just A and Hornheb who were doing all the dirty work, actually getting their hands dirty, walking the walk, while King Tut just talking the talk, probably. But that's pretty much. So that again, bumping him down a few notches, and then one of the things that people are find really crazy was that he was like, his like wife and girlfriend or partner or baby mama or whatever was Ankesenamun. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but and she was like his half sister, which is unconfirmed. And like I think a lot of people don't really think about how that like stuff was like kind of cool back in the day just to do, like to get that like rich dynasty like bloodline, which was like to keep it in the family, like get pure like royal families and stuff like that. And to be like, wow, like that's so crazy, but like actually like it was okay. So kind of doesn't really give him any points up or not. But pretty much. And then also one thing I'd like to ask you guys as the viewers, where do you guys think King Tut was buried? Put it in the in the comments down below. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to do it right now. All right, did you put it in the comments down below? If not, run it back. I'm gonna give you 3 more seconds. All right. That's actually incorrect. He was not buried in a pyramid. He was buried in the Valley of the Gods, which is just this different valley in Egypt, not buried in a pyramid at all. And many people do not know that because they're very stereotypical about Egyptian culture. And so that again is kind of like bumps him down a few points because it would have been a lot cooler if he was buried in a pyramid, but unfortunately so he was kind of like he died when he was 19 from like breaking his leg or something. That was confirmed, and so kind of a lame way to go out. So maybe he deserved it, and again he did nothing probably, but maybe he did a couple things when he got up to like 16 and 19, but again still those guys were young and didn't really know how to do anything. But lastly, the one thing that gives King Tut a lot of points is just kind of how he was stepping. God damn, I talk so stupid. Kind of, he was just like actually stepping very, very heavily back in the days. When they found his tomb and stuff like that, this is unconfirmed, but the research that I've done said that he was buried with what would be considered to be 700 million in a ancient Egyptian money or shekels or anything. And that alone bumps him up a lot of points, because to be only 19 and have like that much like Anubises and that much like chariots and stuff is actually like crazy wealth. So yeah, definitely props to him for that. And
in my heart, been feeling down.
Welcome to the next segment. This segment we're going to be talking about, you guessed it, milk. Milk as the drink, and I apologize for my accent, kind of sounds like I say milk as M-E-L-K, not M-I-L-K, and that comes a lot from my dad, and I have a lot of tendencies from him just in general. I'm going to review that on a different day. But yeah, so I hope it doesn't offend you or frustrate you that I say milk. But anyways, gonna be reviewing milk, and I like to call myself a milk maniac, which might give this a biased review. But milk, I think overall is just a really, really good drink. If sure you have water, which is like classic, but water kind of belongs to everyone, and that doesn't give it like anything special. I like to think as milk is like the last true American drink out there. And of course other cultures and other countries are amazing too, but being from America, I actually don't like it that much. But I still have to rep America. And it is the last true American drink. It is it's a classic all around. It can be used for everything, cereal, tons of baking, and honestly just good for maybe just a snack sometimes. Maybe dip your Oreos in. But yeah, it always, at least for me, It always satisfies my thirst and quenches that right with one swig, to be honest, especially when it's cold. Um, and another thing that I found in my research is that I didn't actually find this out, but I'm just assuming that cows like to be milked. Just as you can tell from when cows are being milked, it's a win-win for both the milker and the milky, which is the cow. And like obviously they probably enjoy that, which is probably a good thing for them as they enjoy getting milked, and for us as we get sweet milk from them. Um, so yeah, like I said, it's in a league of its own, and also it's versatile yet nostalgic. It's got so many different types of flavors, and while I myself am a true fan favorite of the classic red Martin's whole milk or just whole milk in general, it's got so many. You can go 2%, you can go skim, you can go almond, you can go soy, you can go vanilla soy, you can go chocolate, you can go strawberry, you can go banana, you can go coffee flavored milk, you can go creamer milk. You can go like there's so many out there, and they're all just refreshing takes on an old classic. If I'm being honest, you get the classic milk straight from your cow, straight from Bessie, and you can turn them and you can make them into, well, not soy milk or almond milk or any of the stuff that you lactose intolerant people can't have. But again, like those are still awesome alternatives. And while some classic milk maniacs may not be in support of those, I am, and I think they're definitely valid because I want everyone to enjoy milk. But lastly, what I like to talk about is on the different temperatures of milk. Obviously, a cold glass of milk is up there with some of the best things of all time, and definitely probably a top 3 drink of all time. So that's like high up there. But one thing that I actually differ from a lot of milk maniacs in is that I really dislike lukewarm. Ignore them. I really dislike lukewarm milk or just warm milk in general. I know that a lot of people out there enjoy it to go to bed, stuff like that, but it's just not for me, and that's just a personal preference. But if you do enjoy it, that's okay, and that's good for you. But anyways, I didn't have a clip of reviewing King Tut, but we will have a clip of me reviewing milk, so let's roll that clip.
It's time for
King Tut
versus
milk. 2 legendary rivals, 1 gray stage. That is the setting that Dwayne has just described. Let's see what the jury decided. Let's see what the consensus is. So, first of all, we gotta start with King Tut, how we started the video. Like I said, I think he's overrated, short, unimportant, and overall, he just very overpowers A and Hornhead. Those guys did all the work while he just sat back and played and did all this stuff while they did all the actual stuff. Plus, he wasn't buried in a pyramid. But we do have to give it that he was buried with 700 million artifacts of Anubis and chariots and sun god type stuff. So I'm giving him a 4 out of 10. Next, milk. Again, an old classic, refreshing, sweet, the last true American drink, as I said. Milk maniac and myself, it's in a league of its own. It's versatile yet nostalgic. I'm giving milk an 8 out of 10. Milk wins it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the first episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it very much. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like that bell, like this video. And yeah, hopefully I can do some more of these if you guys are enjoying them. And even if you're not, I'm still going to keep doing them because I will review everything. Good night.